Hi friends, it's Nancy. Today I'm going to start a project. I'm going to use Amy at Crafty Cat's digital called Gothic Gray. And I wanted to do, I wanted to do a small little project with it. I was trying to think of what to come up with. And I thought, well, you know, when I think of Gothic and cemeteries and darkness and all that, I love to work with corrugated cardboard, just like I did on my last journal. You know, I made that topper with the corrugated cardboard. And so I grabbed some corrugated cardboard and I thought, well, maybe I'll make like a small ring-bound flip type thing. And so I was really struggling with an idea. Like, I kind of knew what I wanted, but wasn't sure. It wasn't coming together, but I think it's finally coming together now. So I kind of started it. I just wanted to see how far I could get and what it would kind of look like a little bit before I showed you. So just to make sure that it would turn out to something that I thought would be really cool. It's not, I don't think it's a very involved project. It's not a journal, okay? Like, you could journal on the cards that we're going to put in it, but it's not like a journal with a ton of, you know, like regular paper pages. So this is what I came up with. So I had a black CD envelope here. It's a normal size CD envelope. What's normal? I don't know. It's, yeah, it's 5 by 5. And I think her papers in the kit would make a good CD. And I thought, what if we made some CDs out of the papers to be the pages in the book, but we could put cards inside them. I don't know, that's the idea that was coming to me. So what I did was I took apart the CD case to get a pattern on how to cut the papers. And then I thought, well, I want to cut a window. I have some die cuts of circles. If you don't have a die machine and a die cut of circles, you can just use a jar, a glass. My circle isn't as big as this. The one I'm going to use is I have a die cut here, and it's a 3.5 inch circle. Now, of course, you can make yours, you know, whatever size you want, or you don't even have to use a circle. If you don't want to do circle, you can do a rectangle or square, but I think the circle is pretty cool, and it'll really look like a CD case then. So I decided to do a 3.5 inch circle on mine. So first things first, I thought it would be good. So back to the cover here. All I did was take some corrugated cardboard and I ripped like a 6 inch square off 2 pieces. And I didn't care how it ripped. As you can see, it's totally not the same size, totally not, which I'm okay with. And then I kind of smashed it with my hands to make the ridges kind of flat in different ways. Just kind of used my fingers and pushed them in and did that to get that look. And then what I did was I took scorched timber with my brush and I got in the grooves with scorched timber, so you can kind of see the brown in there, because it was a very light corrugated cardboard, this one piece that I had. And after I went in on both pieces inside, made sure I got all this really good saturated with scorched timber, I then came in with my black soot and this, and I went all around the edges and on the top and kind of inside and all that, till I liked how it looked. So I had 2 pieces. And then I said, well, I'm going to make this one my front, this one my back. And so what I did, I printed one of the pages to give a inside cover, and I cut these ended up being 5 by 5, and I glued that on there just to make the inside. And then I thought, I think I would like to ring bound this little book. So I thought, well, I'm going to put 3 holes. So I measured this and punched 3 holes. And I said, I think I have the Tim Holtz 1/2-inch rings. And I'm pretty sure these are going to work since we're only doing like, I'm going to do 5 CD covers in here. If it doesn't work, then I guess we'd have to go to a 1-inch. I have these black 1-inch ones that I got at Hobby Lobby. But these little ones, these are like 1/2-inch. These are the Tim Holtz ones. So I'm hoping these will work. But if not, we'll probably have to go to these here. But we'll just have to see once we get it all together how thick it'll be. So that's my front cover and my back cover. And of course, we have to gussy this up for a cover, right? So I'm going to put this to the side for a second, and I'll get back to that. But I wanted to show you, I printed the pages of Amy's kit, and I printed double-sided. So you can decide which ones you want. Like, I printed five of them, and I wanted 5 CD cases, but I wanted to be able to see the inside of a design too. So I used some of the designs on the inside, and as you can see, I printed both sides, and I did that to 5 of them. Okay, then you can make this book as big as you want, but this is what I'm going to do, because you can add as many as you want and make it as thick as you want. So that's kind of fun. So I'm going to tell you, when I print on the normal 8.5 by 11 for US size. And what I did was, it's already 11, but I cut it down to 6. So you want to do your pages, leave them at 11, but you want the width to be 6. So you want 5 of these double printed, 6 by 11. Okay. Now some of the pages she has more of a design on them. Like this one has a clock on it, and this one has kind of a cool design on it. And then this one does too. So I did print on this. I wanted to, pick the sides that I want for the front of the case as well as the back, because then we have the back we can do something on as well. So 11 by 6, I have 5 pages double printed, both sides, 6 wide by 11, okay? So then we're going to turn it into a CD case. So I have this, and you want to decide what's the inside and what's the outside. Okay, so I'm going to pick this as my outside. Then you want to decide, what do you want to be on the back of the CD case? Because the front, we're going to cut the circle out, but we're still going to use that. So I'm going to pick this as my back. So once you do that, this will be the front, and this is going to have the flap up here, and then this will be the back. So you have to decide which ones you want for the front and the back. Like this one here had this clock on it, and I really wanted that on the back. I thought that was cool. I didn't want to cut that. So I made sure that was my back. So this part was my front. So that's where I cut, okay, on that one. And then this one, this is how this was. I wanted this prettiness on my back. So I cut the circle here, and I'll tell you how I did that. And then on this one, I wanted this floral on the back, so I cut the circle here. Okay, that's how I picked what papers I wanted to use in designs. So on this one here, I'm going to pick this as my back. So this is going to be the circle here cut out. Okay, so once you decide what's your area to cut out, I want you to turn that to the top and score it at 1 inch. I'm using my short scoreboard here. So this is going to be where the circle is going to come out here, okay? Now we did the flap at 1 inch, and now you're going to turn it and you're going to score 1/2 inch on both sides. And I'm going to have to move this up because it's a short board. So 1/2 inch on both sides. And then I'll just flip it and finish it because my board is short here. I didn't feel like getting out my big scoreboard. So I'm just doing it this way. And that works just fine. So I hope everybody's doing well. I can't believe the kids are going back to school in 2 days, or a couple days, I mean, yeah. And I've been just kind of enjoying my grandkids and doing stuff and taking a little break and things like that. So, all right, so here's our flap here, right? And we can score on that. We can just fold that. That's the flap. And then you can fold in your sides like this. And sometimes the little scoreboard does not work very well for me, so I'm gonna have to fix my scores here, I think. Oh, it's probably best that I take the big scoreboard out, but for demonstration purposes, I just use the little one. Been kind of caught some of the Olympics. That was really amazing. That was fun. I can't believe two weeks went by and that's over. Okay, so here's the flap here. And I'm going to tell you now, when we cut the circle, this flap, and we're going to glue this down. We're not even using it, but we're going to have the nice finished edge up here. So right now I'm going to tell you that you're going to have to cut like part of the flap off. I'm cutting off like a scant 1/2 inch because when we fold it over and glue it, we don't want it to show through the cutout. So I did that. And so now we have to fold it. So now I have my score here, and I want to bring this edge up right up to here, right up to the score line. I mean, I know we usually go below, but we're not using the flap. The flap's going to be glued down. So I want you to line up right with the fold, and before you score it, before you press this down, I want to make sure it's about 5 inches, which it should be, because 5 and 5 is 10, and then we used 11, so it should be just right. Okay, so now that we have that all done, we're going to just do some cutting, cut the sides, right? And then you would cut your circle. So this is the front. This is where the circle is going to get cut. So what I want to do is, like I did here, we're going to cut the 1/2 inch off on, this will be the back part. We're going to, I hope I'm not confusing anybody. I was confusing myself. We're cutting off the 1/2 inch score on the back, what will be the back. So once you get to the crease here, we're just going to angle it off. So you're going to do that on both sides. Like that. And if you don't, sometimes it's hard to see, so you might have to just do a little extra trimming, but that's not a big problem there. And so now we're going to come here, and here's the flap, right? So we're going to cut just a slight angle off there and a slight angle like that. So just a little bit off the side here, not much, and then that, okay? So it looks like this. Now this is where I would cut the circle. So because I'm using a 3.5 inch circle. So I decided that 3/4 of an inch from the crease up, I would line my die. So I put my, I can just even fold this so you can see it better. Fold all that in. So it's going to be like this, okay? So then I kind of measure, put my ruler at about 3/4 up, and that's how I'm going to put my die, like that. And then I'm going to just eyeball, because that's all you have to do. I'm just going to eyeball it to make sure it's kind of even on both sides. And then, where's my tape? Okay, tape, hold on. I have my my little mint tape here. That's just a low tack tape to hold my die in. Got that at scrapbook.com. Or you can use painter's tape. And so then I would do that, open this up, and I will run this through my die cutting machine. And that's what I did to all 5 pieces, okay? So I'm going to put that to the side because I'm not going to do that now. So that's what I did. Now save these circles, okay? Then what we're going to do is put these together. Now, you can ink or not ink. I like to ink, so I'm taking my black soot and I am inking the inside of my circle. If you don't like to ink, then skip this step. And I would do that to all my circles, and I will even do it to this circle because we're going to use this, so don't get rid of it. Okay, I would do that to all 5 of my CD cases. All right, then we're going to glue these together. So the first thing I want to do is just totally glue the flap on the inside. And if you see it sticking out, you'll trim a little more from your circle, but I think mine's okay. So I'm going to, first of all, glue this flap down because we're not going to use it, but it's going to give a nice finished edge. So that's the first thing to do, like that. And make sure it's glued down really good so it doesn't catch what we're going to put inside. Okay, and then we're going to fold our flaps in before you glue. That's how it's going to end up, and that will be even here. Now look on the front, because sometimes, you know, if you don't cut your flaps right, you might see some of it sticking out. I think I'm okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. So, but then when we glue it, it's going to have a nice finished edge in there. So once you know that it's fine, you're just going to put some glue on your flaps. And then we're going to put the CD case together. Like that. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. All right, so once that's glued, we have our CD case. And you're gonna have that open like that. So that's the back. This will be the front. And we're gonna do that to all 5. And keep your circles with your CD case. Then once you get that done, since I already poked holes, I measured my piece, which is like 5-ish inches, a little less, a little more, I mean, 5 inches, 5.5. This piece, you know, they're not even. So whatever your pieces are, you will measure in. I measured in about 1/2 inch, and then I just spaced 3 holes. If you don't want 3, you could do 2. I did 3. It's whatever you want to do. Okay, so then, like I said, I already punched the holes on here. So now we need to punch holes on the left side of all the CD cases before we go any further, so we don't forget. So what you're going to do is line up your CD cases where you need them to be. Make sure they're inside your cover. And when you have it where you need it, you're gonna, for the first one only, you're going to draw a line inside those circles and punch them. I used a small punch right now. I don't know if I'll have to make it bigger. Right now, these are going through it like really easy. So depending on your hole punch and what kind of rings you're going to use, do that on your first one, because once you do the first one, you're going to line up all the rest of them with your CD case, and you're going to punch 3 holes in there, okay? We might end up putting eyelets in. I'm not sure yet at this point. I don't know if it's needed or not, okay? So we'll think about that. So then, like I said, once you make all your CD cases, line up one of them with the holes in your cover, punch them, and then you can line the rest of your CDs up cases with this one, and then punch all holes so they all have their holes, okay? And keep your circles with it. All right, we do that for all 5 of them. So then what I wanted to do was, I want us to be able to put a journaling card inside. So, and we have to allot for this, the holes here. So we can't make it a 5x5 journaling card because it'll be, you know, the holes will be here. So the measurements for this then would be 4 1/4. And what I did to make my journal cards is I took the manila folder from the Dollar Tree. I use that a lot. I just cut them up, and we're going to make some journaling cards with them. So I took some, and I measured, and what'll go in here just fine and not be interfering with the holes is a 4 1/4 by 5. It's okay if it's 5 inches. I'm thinking we're going to put tabs or something that mimics a tab. I'm not going to say we're going to use a tab. We might use a bat. We might use a ghost. I'm not there yet. I don't know. Or we might just make tabs. I don't know yet. But so for this size, I'm doing 4 1/4 by 5. And I cut them and rounded the corners, so I have 5 cards all ready to go. And I inked them both sides for now because we're going to do some covering up, okay? So you can do that. Put that to the side. Then what we're going to do is, on these cards, I want to make like a background. So whatever you want to do for a background, because obviously you can't leave them like this. So I have a spooky book that I designated to rip the pages out. So I know the words in there are something about vampires and ghosts and whatever, werewolves, whatever. So I'm not worried about that. So I want to do a covering, like a base covering. Now you could do a collage, whatever you want to do. But I ripped out pages of the book somewhere around here. Okay, I did rip out some pages of the book. And what I did was I just took my tear ruler, and I'm going to cover the fronts of all of these. So I'm just going to take, and you can get as elaborate as you want with this. I mean, we can do paint splatters. We don't need to do too much to the background because remember, we're going to use this circle here. So what I did was I just kind of got rid of the white areas here first, because we didn't need any of the white areas. We don't want that. And I think I could even get rid of, it depends what size your book is. So I want to make it where it covers most of this card. This is going to be on our background here. But like I said, if you want to do something else, go right ahead. But for this one, I am doing it where it's just maybe a little bit of the edge showing of the, you know, where now I don't know why I ripped that too short, but okay. Wasn't paying attention, but it's going to work just fine anyway. So, and let's just do that one then here. So there. So then I have enough here to cover this. I would have made it a little bigger, but that's okay. And then what I'm going to do is ink this all around. And then if some of your folder is showing, you can just re-ink the sides of your folder too. So I would do this for all 5 of the, and I would glue this down, all 5 of the journal cards, and I'm going to glue this down, okay? Once you do that, you're going to start taking your CD cases and your circles and make sure it's lined up exactly as you cut it. That's how you want, you don't want to like use it that way or this way. You want to make sure it's going to line up, because what we're going to do is once we glue this down, we are going to line this back up here with how you cut it. This will be glued down, and we want to glue the circle here. But I want to make sure when you put the card in that, and I didn't glue this yet, so, but I guess I should glue it for you. I guess I should do that. So I'm going to use my glue stick here. How much time? Okay. This will probably be a couple videos, 2-3 videos, I'm guessing. It depends how involved we get with it, I guess. But I think it's going to be a kind of a fun project with this kit. I like it. So then we're going to glue that down. Like that. Okay. Once you get that down, take your CD case. Make sure you have your, you know how that's going to go. We're going to insert the CD case. Now, I didn't punch the holes yet, so remember you have your holes. So this is going to go in like, you know, towards the right, and it's going to be even, more or less, with the top. Remember, we're going to have our holes punched here. I'm going to show you one I did already. So once we get the card, the journal card in exactly where it needs to be, minus the holes here, remember, it's going to go to the right and over, right? Like that. Okay. Make sure it's in there. Once you know it's in there, right the way it should be, and I believe I have it. I think there's no other easy way of doing it, so. Okay. It's in. Okay, so now what I want to do is we're going to reposition the circle. My circle has a decal edge on it, so I have to make sure it's lined up in there. See? But if you just have a plain circle, it's pretty easy. You just line up your design. I am going to take my glue stick, hold that circle exactly where it needs to be. I'm just going to hold it, bend it down here, and put some glue in here to get this stuck so it doesn't move. Okay? So then that's how it's going to be. Now what I'm going to do is carefully remove the journal card. I know the circle's there, it's glued on, and oh, wow, I did that pretty. I don't know what I was doing there, but I got to redo that. I must not have had it in there right. Let's try that again. Wow. Let me make sure it's in there. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Of course, it's going to be funny now. Must not have had it in there. That's why it's important to make sure you had it in there just where you wanted it. Let's try that again. More or less. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place, but that's how it is, I think. Let me try again. Make sure it's in there just where I want it to be. Okay. No. Did I cut this wrong? Where's my ruler? I might have cut my journal card wrong. Did I? No, I guess it's fine. I don't know why I did. Did I? No, they're right. Okay, I think I need to put I think what's throwing me off is the, I don't have it lined up right because I don't have my punches in yet. Okay, I'm going to not glue that yet because I don't want to screw that up. So I have one done already. So let me just put that to the side. I'll make sure I punch before I glue. Okay, so anyway, here we go. So this is what I wanted to show you is we're going to glue the circle in, and then look at the digital. I have a lot of it cut out, and then there's a lot of cool images in here, and I have a lot cut out already. They're all here. So what I did was I looked at the images and I thought, ooh, I want the house on there first. So what I did, it was just a square, a rectangle, and I just cut around the house. And I glued the house. I put the card in where it should sit as far as the circle is concerned, like that. And it'll sit nice once you have the rings in. So, okay. Once you have it there, I cut the house and put it where I needed it and glued it to the circle. So when it's going to be in the rings, you see my journal card is clearing that. You're going to see this behind there. Now, I didn't want to put acetate or vellum. If you want to, you could, but then I don't know. I just didn't want to. I wanted it to be open. So I put that there, and then I thought she would look really good here on the outside. So I kind of just tore around her and glued her to the outside of the journal cover. So, but I still want to dress up and we'll do these as the next video, but I just wanted to give you an idea of where I'm going with this. So this is going to be the book, and then flip it over, and then you're going to have these. And then see, the back is nice, so you can even journal on that, or we can decorate, or we can put pockets and tucks. So I'm waiting for the ideas to come. So anyway, but I still want to dress this up a little more. And this is as far as I got. And I wanted to show you that I wanted to still put something else on here. Something that you don't see when it's in here, but when you take it out. So I plan on trying to use, I have a lot of Amy's die cuts that she sells in her shop. And I thought this guy would look super cool in the corner here, like he's standing in the forefront. But I figured out that when I put him there and put him in here, when the card is in here, you're not seeing him because she's kind of covering him. But when you pull the card out, he will be there. And then, so I also want to use some of my Tim Holtz Halloween bits and pieces. Look around at your stuff, see what you have. Of course, I do have the words out because I definitely want to add some of these words to this. So we're going to figure that out. So, and then on the back here, you've got journaling, or we might put some, I think I might do some stenciling here and leave these for journaling. We'll see, but this is the idea of what I'm going for as far as the CD covers and the journal cards, okay? So the only other thing right now I wanted to show you is I was having an idea for the cover. So I got some pieces out. Now, this is one of the images, and I just tore it. I glued it to a piece of board, like just the back of a tablet, you know, the cardboard, just to make it harder. And I have my faux mummy cloth, and all this is cheesecloth with a lot of Tim Holtz spritz stuff all over it. And you can kind of see there, it's got, I don't know what colors I have, whatever. I just sprayed it, crumpled it up, let it dry, and now I have this big piece, and I just can use it as however I want to use it. So I thought I would just kind of like put a piece there, and I thought it'd be really nice to put this on the cover, and you can kind of pull this where you want it. Of course, you can think of your own cover and do, you know, whatever you think, but I thought this would be a good start, this picture, because it's the couple going to their house, and I love how they're in red. I like that. Now, this is a little bat fence, a piece of a bat fence, and I had it laying over here because I have a Cricut machine, and I happened to cut some of this out from a class I'm taking. And I thought, let me see how that looks. So I thought, oh, wow, look at that. If I glue that there, that's like perfect. Like they went through the gates to their house. And I just happen to have this laying here. You can always make your own gate or think of something else. So I thought that would look cool there. And then also one of Amy's die cuts, I have this moon. It's kind of big, but you know what? It doesn't matter. And it's got the silhouette of a moon face, and I thought that might look good there. And then here's the holes here. So I'm thinking of doing something like that for the cover. But my goal is I have a lot of Amy's die cuts, and I'm going to try to incorporate as many as I can, the silhouettes with this little flip book here. So I will get this together, and I'm just going to glue this on as is, and I think it's going to be pretty cool looking. I might put some grit paste around here in these areas here. Not so much on the back, leave the back the way it is, but on the front I might put something like a little bit here, or I might not. I'm gonna think about it. But yeah, if you're interested in doing something like this, it's kind of fun. It's not gonna take a lot of time, and it's something different than a journal. So let me know in the comments if you're thinking this is something that might be kind of fun, and then I will continue on gluing the pages, the book page to the journal card, and lining up the circle and putting the circle to it, and then we will decorate the CD cases and the journal cards together in the next video and see how far we get, okay? All right, friends, thanks for hanging with me, and I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye.